All right. Hello, everyone. This is Behemoth, and we are going to talk about ROH Final Battle. I am the host. This is my co-host, the Little Red Machine, and we watched this pay-per-view. We spent the last 3 hours watching it and taking notes. A little background on both of us. We've both been watching various wrestling for roughly 20 years. We've watched WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, a little bit of New Japan, and some really shitty indie shows. But basically, we usually watch this stuff together, and this is the first time we've tried doing any podcasts. I don't know if we're going to regularly do it or not, but we're hopefully it'll be a good time, and we can tear up some really shitty stuff and praise the stuff that actually deserves it. But anyway. So we're going to go through this piece by piece, and then we're going to give like final thoughts on it. And I kind of have a star rating going, but I mean, take it for what it is. It's a fucking star rating. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. All right. Now, did you want to walk through the first match? You want me to kind of? I don't know if we can really walk through this because let's just get started. Okay. So the first thing that comes on, I'm going to start with the video package. A lot of it was people who aren't even in Ring of Honor anymore. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty good hype video, I won't lie. I mean, but I was like, this guy's gone. This guy's gone. It's like, let's see, who was the ones that were out there? No Bully, no Adam Cole. Who else? Did you remember anybody else that I didn't?
No, that's the only ones I noticed.
Okay, I know there were more, but I can't remember them. So anyway, that's not that important. And then we got the two shit-tastic Ring of Honor announcers. Oh my God, Colt Cabana and Ian, I think it's Riccaboni. I don't know how to say his last name, but oh my God, throughout the night. Here, go on, rant.
This guy was so bad. I mean, come on. We're talking about the match. They're not talking about any of the moves that are going on in the match. They're talking about bullshit that nobody wants to know about. They don't call what's really going on in the match.
They were talking about Bobby Heenan.
Right.
Bobby Heenan. I mean, I know he's been in Ring of Honor briefly, but shit, when was that?
100 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, probably before I started watching. It's like they're talking about all this stuff from, 10 years ago?
At least.
Oh, God. And then they would just say the dumbest things that made me want to reach through the screen and just strangle the life out of them. I'm just... oh, my God. Anyway, and they introduced the show, and it made me not want to watch the show. I mean, I did watch the show, but it made me not want to watch the show because, Lord. Anyway, on back to what we're talking about before we get to the next rant. Okay, so we got Will Ospreay versus Matt Taven, who's heading up the Kingdom, and he comes out with this ridiculous intro. But I will say one thing: Ospreay, great outfit, remind me of the Daredevil. And, the announcers were busy talking about Jesse Ventura's fucking reality show about conspiracy. I felt like R-Truth is coming on.
Oh, don't forget they spelled it out for you in case you were too stupid.
God, I forgot about that. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I'm surprised they could spell conspiracy.
I realize that some of the people that watch wrestling may not be the smartest guys in the box, but really, we're not that stupid.
You need spelling contests.
That's right.
You watch wrestling because you're too damn dumb when you've been fucking your sister.
Yeah, about right.
Anyway, so Taven enters with his goon squad with an axe, and I think one of them had a machete, basically coming out to murder everybody, and the crowd was really hot. They hated Taven's guts. I think someone's trying to break in the house and murder us, or maybe it's a squirrel dragging a body across the roof. I don't know if anybody can hear that, but that was pretty weird. Anyway, back to the show. Oh my God, this match. So it starts out, Taven and Ospreay are just flipping all over the place. I just have Flippy written with a big exclamation point. I'm going to kind of go through the match, and then you can comment on whatever you found in there that I missed.
I just want to make one point about the entrance for Taven. Is without that stupid entrance, I think he would have done much better. It takes away from the fact that he's actually a good wrestler and that he has a good gimmick going on. But the entrance is just horrific.
Okay. All right. So the match, basically Ospreay comes... I'm sorry, I skipped a part. So they get the heat. Ospreay stupidly looks over at the guys outside the ring, and Taven jumps in from behind. Long heat segment. It's pretty good when Taven's in command, and Ospreay comes back with all kinds of crazy gymnastics. He even hits a 619, so I was having Rey Mysterio flashbacks. I was waiting for him to drop the dime on him. But anyway, so Ospreay starts showboating for like 10 minutes before he does a move, and finally at the end of the match, the counter. Ospreay does some suicidal shit and then tries for his Oz cutter, and Taven counters into the climax, which got me because he still calls his move the climax all these years after he left Truth Martini's stable, the House of Truth. I miss the House of Truth. But anyway, so Taven wins with the climax, and for me it was an average match, which could have been a lot better, but it was just a whole lot of choreography and not a whole lot of wrestling. Okay, I'm done. What do you think?
I think that if I wanted to watch a gymnastic match, this would have been great. But I'm watching wrestling, so I want to see you kick some ass. I don't want to see you. That's right. Give me them Briscoes any day.
Them boys.
Them boys, baby. They show them how to do it.
We'll talk about them later.
It went on way too long. It would have been better, much shorter. Ospreay's move is just really stupid. You can tell if you've watched Taven before the difference that Martini made with Taven. Taven's become a very good wrestler, and I think it's all due to Martini. Unfortunately, we didn't see a lot of that in this match. We saw more flippy crap, which I really thought
and sadly, no hoopla hotties.
Amen, brother.
Oh, I did want to mention one other thing. Right in the middle of this match, after Taven took control, he put the worst Boston Crab I think I've ever seen, and he lost hold of it, and he had to turn it into a crappy half Boston Crab before the rope break. That made me want to cry. Okay. I don't have anything else to say about this match. So let's move on to match number 2, which was a much better one, which brought me into better spirits. Although I don't think that match was terrible, but it was just kind of slow. But anyway, the next match, we get a promo package for Addiction versus War Machine. I love the Addiction. I love them very much, especially General Christopher Daniels.
Who doesn't love the General? Come on.
Christopher Daniels is the man. And Hanson looks like he ate another human being. He has bigger breasts than most of the women on the show. And he looks like he smells like 100% pure hooker anus. That's basically what I have to say about the promo package. You got any comments to add on the promo package?
The only thing I want to say is that I thought they were awesome as ever. They're very entertaining as well as being great wrestlers.
Are you talking about Addiction or War Machine?
Addiction.
Oh,
okay. They're great entertainers. They're comedians. They keep you interested, and they're great wrestlers. As far as War Machine goes, hell, all they have to do is walk out to scare the holy shit out of you. I'd run.
I love it. And if I haven't said it enough, I love Daniels' general outfit. It's fucking amazing. Okay, on to the match. So basically the story of this match is anytime the Addiction was in there 2-on-1, they had the advantage. But then they would slowly lose the advantage, and then they would cheat or do something dastardly. The referee let them basically stay in the ring the entire match, 2-on-1. So it was a lot easier for them, and it was not a whole lot of rules, but it was still a really fun match because both the teams are really good. There was some really interesting shit in this one, like for one part, there was basically Daniels kept trying to cheat, and the referee kept catching him. And then there was at the very end of it, after a long series of really big moves, War Machine picked up Daniels for way up high for a big fallout from the top rope, which of course it always is, for the 3 count. And War Machine won, but it was a really good match. What did you think of it?
I thought it was an awesome match. Both teams are great. You can't really complain about either one, no matter who you're rooting for. You got a good match out of this one. Of course, my comment on Addiction is that they work very smoothly together. They can beat the hell out of you and talk trash while they're beating the hell out of you, which I think is amazing. Seamless. I mean, they're smooth as water. There's nothing wrong with their performance. Kudos to Hanson. It's just an awesome match.
But were they as smooth as the sweat running down Hanson's boobs? That's my question. Were they?
That's a horrifying thought, but I guess so.
Silky, like just the beautiful. Never mind. Anyway, for this one I gave it, I think 3.25 stars. I'm gonna get into the quarter stars because I'm a real picky asshole. You don't have to give a star rating if you don't want to. I don't know if you kept that like I did. I think you just kept more copious notes. It looks like you're
copious notes, but yeah, I have to agree with you. I think 3.5.
Looks like a book report over there, whereas mine's just kind of like little tick marks. But if I tried to do this like tomorrow, I wouldn't remember a lot of this.
The only thing I'm going to say about War Machine is, I have to give them kudos for kicking the ass they did because they are really out of shape. But damn, they're still awesome.
See, Roe didn't look too bad. He just has a gut, but oh my god,
Hanson looks like 2 men in one. I'd run.
2 men who don't bathe.
Oh,
okay.
That beard, my god.
Yeah, any more last comments on this one before we move on to the next sucker?
That's it.
All right. Take a really professional big drink of water there. Okay, the next match was my favorite match of the evening. I'm pretty sure it was yours because you have like a page written on it over there.
Absolutely.
It was Jay Lethal versus Marty Scurll, who I call Pingy Whiplash because he's a combination of Snidely Whiplash and the Penguin from Batman. He's got that really cheesy villain thing. The only thing he doesn't do is pull on his mustache and have a little dog that follows him around. And then he dresses like the Penguin with these ridiculous, stupid bird outfits. I mean, his gimmick annoys the hell out of me, but I can't deny that he's a pretty damn good wrestler when he just doesn't flap his arms around like a goof dick. So they had a promo package before the match, which they did consistently throughout the show, which is a really good thing, so that you know, because I mean, neither of us are watching Ring of Honor currently on a regular basis because there's just so much shit that drives me crazy. And I said, I no more, no mas. I just couldn't handle anymore. I'm just like, it felt like I was going to get a root canal when we were going to watch the weekly episode. So I just don't. I mean, the pay-per-view wasn't bad, but the weekly episodes made me want to. I mean, when you can only see so much stupid shit before you just lose it. Okay, that was a tangent. But anyway, so the promo packages are good if you don't watch every week. That was my main point to that aimless ramble. Anyway, so I wanted to point out a common thing with one of the promo packages. I felt like they were trying to outdo each other on who had the worst outfit. And Lethal with his fedora just looked funny. I know he's worn it before, but it looks even funnier on his bald head.
Still getting used to that bald head.
It looks weird. Okay. So the crowd was split throughout the match. I think there were more people for Scurll, but it was still a lot of people cheering for Lethal. They would do like the whoop whoop for his entrance. I'm sorry, I should probably try to do that more. And sing whoop whoop. That's
horrible.
That's about as close as I can do. You'll have to imagine from there.
Makes me want to get out the bug spray.
Bug spray? That
Yeah.
sounds like a bug to me.
Oh, it's pest spray, man. Got to kill it somehow.
He is kind of a pest at times. But this was a really good match. So I'm going to... do you have like a play-by-play there, or do you want me to kind of run it?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I don't have every note because they did a lot of back and forth stuff. Mm-hmm. But basically, Scurll originally takes control of the match after hiding behind the referee and then taking a cheap shot whenever Todd got out of the way. Todd takes a while to get out of the way because he weighs like 300 pounds.
He's a whole lot of man.
Yeah, he's a big man, but Todd is God. That's what we heard
That's
when we
right.
went to the shows. Anyway, so eventually Lethal threw Scurll hard into that guardrail. It moved a good 6 or 7 inches. I bet that hurt like hell. And they kept going back and forth, a really great sequence of moves, including Lethal picking up Scurll with a torture rack into a somersault senton, also called a Green Bay plunge, and then a cutter off the apron. It was nasty looking, beautiful stuff. And we had a ref bump, a low blow by Marty Scurll. They did the Eddie Guerrero chair shot, which was beautiful.
Yes.
And then they did like a reverse Eddie Guerrero where Lethal pretended like he hit him with the chair, and then all kinds of attempted cheating and actual cheating by Scurll. And finally, he hit him with a parasol and then pile drove Lethal, and Lethal kicks out. So at this point, Scurll doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's like, oh my God, what am I going to have to do? So he goes and tries to bring in another weapon. While the referee's getting rid of that, Lethal hits him with the low blow, the lethal injection for the pinfall. For a great match. I gave it 3.75 stars. And I know you argued for 4, right?
I argue for 4.
Yeah, and you don't even like Scurll.
No, I hate Scurll.
Scurll.
Marty
Scurll. I'm going to start calling him Marty Scurll.
I can't stand the man. I don't even want to get his name right because he's a pain in the ass.
If he came out with the little nuts and he started gnawing on him, that would be fucking fantastic.
I could handle that better than the whoop whoop and the wing thing. I feel like I'm in the middle of the damn bird archery.
I'm Marty Scurll and I love to chew on nuts. I'm the villainous Squirrel.
It was a really good match. It was a lot of good back and forth. They compensated for each other. They made each other go to a higher game and bring out more moves and be more perfect at what they did. The worst part of this whole match was the announcing. Okay. They would start talking about a move and they'd go off on something else and then they'd try to come back to what they were doing before, but they lost their train of thought, so they couldn't come back to it.
They didn't.
Oh my God,
they were
horrible.
A train of thought so much as it would just derail.
It's like what the hell, dude?
There were no survivors.
No, it's like, are you watching the same match I'm watching?
I think they were watching some 1990s match or something because they kept talking about people that weren't even there.
Yeah, it was horrible. If you could just watch the match and not listen to the announcing, you're a lot better off.
I wish you'd had an option where you could just turn the announcers off and watch the match. Just hear the sound effects and the wrestlers, but not listen to the announcers because that really brought their show down, which was a pretty good show for the most part, but we're about to talk about some of the problems with it.
True.
Because after it went so far down from this awesome match to the absolute garbage that followed. You have any more comments before we move on to the next match where we can really rip on it?
I just thought it was really nice that they did the little part with Eddie Guerrero in it. It was kind of nice to hear them give him kudos and just to see that done by someone else. It's awesome.
It's not quite as funny as Eddie because he would get such a kick out of it.
But it was still funny.
It was still cool. Okay, next match. This match, here's what I have highlighted. A match sucks 3 dicks.
I had 3 poop piles, so I think we're on the right road.
Poop and dicks, got it. Poop and dicks, all right. So anyway, the match was for the tag team titles of Ring of Honor. So, oh my God. There was the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Best Friends, who I've never heard of, although I have seen Trent Beretta before, and I know I've heard Chuck Taylor's name somewhere.
Trent Beretta was horrible when we saw him before, and he's still horrible.
He sucked then, he sucks now, and he sucks forever.
Yeah,
Trent Beretta. Fuck you very much. No, seriously, I don't know what he's like in person, but he sucks as a wrestler. Anyway, so the Best Friends gimmick is that they do really bad promo packages and botch the hell out of them, and then they record them all and put them on TV, and then they hug each other a lot.
And they keep asking for a retake. It's like, it's live, you moron. There are no retakes.
They're like 2 psycho Sids without the entertainment value.
True.
They have half the brain that we do.
True.
I had to go there. I'm sorry.
I couldn't help it.
I mean, before they did the match, they had promos from both of them, and that was where we saw the Best Friends blooper reel where they kept asking for retakes. And then before that, we actually had Sabin and Kelly, who just were dull, so dull. Sabin was trying to be funny. Kelly was like serious, like John Laurinaitis style, just droning. Thankfully, it was short, but it was not good. And then, when the match started, that was much worse. I was craving the promo packages by the time the match started. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Here's what I have. Lots of nothing, showboating, fake bullshit, and I was just bored until somebody I don't even know who it was, but they got launched into the guardrail, and then the fan goes running out of the way, and he screams at him, "You almost killed me!"
That was the best part of the match, dude.
Yeah, the best part of the match was them nearly murdering the poor fan in the front row. And then there was a blatant low blow in front of the ref. And then they somehow got it, the old spot among the gay wrestlers that they used to do where one of them would fall into the other's crotch and then they would fall onto each other like they were 69ing each other. I felt like I was watching like the 1980s WWE with like severe homophobia, and it was just like, this is the stupidest shit. I mean, even then it was stupid, but it's even dumber when you think about it now. And it's just, they went from, and then after that point, they were like, well, now we're actually going to have a serious match after fucking around for like 10 minutes. And then they did something called a dude buster off the top rope onto I think it was on a Sabin. And then at the end of the match, when I'm just praying for this horrible match to end, Sabin takes a pile driver. He doesn't sell it all and immediately rolls up the other guy for the pin. And I was annoyed that he didn't sell it, but I was just so happy that this atrocity was over. Okay, I've almost finished my rant, and then I'm going to let you have your rant. If I had to give it a rating, I think I'd have to give it like -1 star. Like, I know I'm not going to go, I normally stop at 0 for just a normal shitty match. Negative is when don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Save yourself the breathing and the time on earth. There's better uses of your time, like scraping your genitals with a cheese grater. That would still be a better use of your time than watching this god-awful match. Just stay away. Okay. Okay. I think I'm done now. Go ahead. You got anything to add to that?
Save the cheese grater for the later match.
Oh, God, yeah, there is a worse match.
That's it. You covered it all. Let's move on.
That was horrible. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to take a drink. I should have gotten. I should get my Sprite for this. You know what?
No. You need whiskey for
I'm
this.
I'm gonna get the Sprite. You go on. Start talking about the four-way. I'm gonna get a Sprite.
The four-way is Martinez, Taylor versus Young, and
Silas?
Kenny King.
Oh yeah, Silas.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
I love Silas. He
Silas
talks
is
trash to everyone while he's wrestling, while he's not wrestling. Martinez has a great gimmick. Taylor's a badass. He'll beat the crap out of you. And King, well, I have nothing positive to say about King.
He's really good at waving his dick at people. That's what Jim Cornette says.
Well, I must be then. If Cornette says it's true, it's true.
No, I don't know about that. Maybe if it's not political.
I don't know.
I'm convinced that cranberry Sprite is the drink of champions. And I say that because I'm drinking one right now. Anyway, you want to go? Do you have the match kind of going? I don't go into real details in this one because basically the first part of the match are just everybody's in there just hitting each other, and then they get out, and then somebody else comes in, hits the other one, and that just keeps going for a while until finally, basically. Oh, I did forget one thing before we go back that we forgot to mention Punishment Martinez's entrance, where he comes out with a bunch of lunatics dressed in like fake vampire get up, and one who had like handprints all over him. I think he got a bunch of drug addicts and just painted them up for the show. And and Silas brought the Beer City Bruiser with a big 6-pack of bottles of beer, which actually came into play later on.
Only because they were about to hit his beer.
Gotta protect the beer.
That's right. Otherwise, he wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, motherfuckers, don't take my beer. Anyway, back into the match. So everybody's hitting everybody for a good, 3 or 4 minutes. You know, typical fatal four-way, one-on-one, and throw somebody out, one-on-one. So then 3 guys get outside the ring, and big old 6'7" or so Punishment Martinez does a somersault heel over the ropes and takes their asses down. It was beautiful. And shortly after that, Kenny King hits his royal flush where he picks up Shane Taylor, this big 350-plus pound beast, up on his shoulders and slams him down on his back. And then Martinez hits a little somersault move off the ropes and pins him for the 3 count. This is an elimination match, by the way, so everybody has to be eliminated before we decide who the champion is. I probably should have mentioned that to begin with, but I was too busy getting my Sprite because I have my priorities in order. Any comment? Anything down there? You want me to keep going?
Keep going.
Okay, before I keep babble incessantly. Anyway, so after Taylor's pin, the other 2 double team Martinez. So it's Silas and Kenny King double teaming big old Punisher Martinez, including a blockbuster powerbomb combo on the outside, which was particularly nasty. That was nice. And so they keep double teaming until they roll back into the ring. Silas fucks over Kenny King, tries to roll him up. Kenny kicks out. They start fighting, and the ref is distracted by Bruiser. Silas grabs a beer bottle and smashes Kenny King in the head with it and then pins him for the 3 count. And the ref's like, "Where did all this glass come from? I didn't see that." And Silas like, "Oh, I don't know. It was just here." It was beautiful. Classic moron referee. I'm totally good with it. Oh, excuse me. That's what cranberry Sprite does for you. It makes you belch like a fiend. Anyway, so now it's down to Silas Young and Punishment Martinez. And this is when the match got good, because those 2 just beat the piss out of each other. And it wasn't that long, but it was sweet. And we're just like, punch, punch. All right, and they flip over and punch the shit out of each other some more. And then Martinez tries to hit a move from the top rope to the outside. He nails a Bruiser and injures his ribs on the guardrail. And at this point, Silas takes over, just starts wailing on his ribs, like repeatedly just picking him up and kneeing him right in the ribs over and over until finally, after Punishment kept fighting back, Young hits the Misery and pins him for his first singles title to become the new television champion. Go Silas. All right. I gave it 2.5 stars because the first part was pretty slow, and but it was a pretty good match by the end. And I love Silas Young, so I have to support anything that gets him a title. That's what I have to say about that. What
last real man in professional wrestling.
Silas Young.
I have to give the 2 stars to Silas because I think he was badass, and the other half of the star to Martinez because he did some stuff that most big men can't do. It was a great match.
He actually does too much shit off the bouncing off the ropes. I mean, I like to see it if he just punches shit out of people some more, because he does throw a good punch.
That's true. He is very good, but he is entertaining either way.
Oh, he is, but I mean, I just want to see him go a little more old school Undertaker and just beat the hell out of people. But any more comments on that one?
Done.
All right, yeah. Not a whole lot to say. Pretty fun. Nothing too special, but still fun. Okay, so the next match on our card is the Briscoes versus Bully and Dreamer, which I actually have down as the Briscoes versus Fat
Asses.
Oh my God, Dreamer was fat.
Bully was out of shape too, but not near as close as Dreamer.
No, Bully had like 50 pounds, and Dreamer had like breasts like a. I mean, I would love to see him and Hanson in a wet T-shirt contest in this one.
Oh Jesus!
Actually, I don't know.
That's a horrifying thought.
I don't know if love is the best word, but I think it'd be pretty fucking funny.
I think it'd be scary.
It'd be like some really prime Vince Russo booking on that. You know something, bro? I gotta be honest with you, bro. I really want to see men in really skimpy outfits, bro. It's gonna get huge ratings. It's gonna get huge ratings, bro.
Yeah, for you to please take it off before everybody vomits.
Did you notice Dreamer's huge bald spot?
Yes. Looked like he was wearing a crown on the back of his head.
Crown? Oh my God. It looked like he had a fucking potato instead of a head. Dreamer looked 100 years old, and Bully looked about 50. I mean, granted, Bully was still doing a good job hitting his stuff for the most part, although there was one spot where he botched trying to do a big back body drop. But for the most part, Bully was pretty good. Dreamer, he had some ugly moments. But this match was like there was some really good shit, and then just some stuff that was absolute garbage.
True.
I mean, it was not what I thought it was going to be. I was expecting a brutal street fight. What I got was kind of a run-of-the-mill street fight, except for with one really stupid spot in the middle of it. Like, basically the story of the match was that the Briscoes had been teaming with Bully, and then for some reason Jay just got pissed at Bully and beat the hell out of him. And so Dreamer comes in to save his friend, and they decide to team together despite Bully's serious concussion issues, and they're going to fight the Briscoes in a New York City street fight. Yeah. Anyway, so you'd expect that to be like a blood feud or something.
Sabers?
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. Don't worry. We're not going to forget that shit. Oh God. So anyway, kind of going into the match, basically they just started pulling out weapons pretty early on. Bully hit a big cross body off the apron onto both Briscoes, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. And at some point, all guys got like 4 chairs, 1 chair for each guy. And they did this really shitty chair battle where the Briscoes lost both their chairs. So here's what happens after this. This is great. This is great. And I mean that in the most sarcastic way. So Bully and Dreamer are standing in the ring with the chairs. The Briscoes get out of the ring. Bully and Dreamer stand there like complete morons while the Briscoes search under the ring. Mark finds the Singapore cane right off the bat. And then Jay takes another good, probably a minute and a half to find his cane. All the while, Bully and Dreamer are sitting there like they're having a cup of coffee with their chairs. So the Briscoes get back in the ring with their canes. And instead of coming and just beating the hell out of them with their chairs, Dreamer and Bully look at each other and like, no, we don't want chairs. So they go out there, they go into the ring, and they pull out 2 toy lightsabers. So Bully's got one like Kylo Ren, it's like a lightsaber sword. And Dreamer's got the old school green lightsaber like Luke had Return of the Jedi. And they come in the ring, and then they swing their sabers at the canes. They knock Briscoe down, Jay Briscoe down, excuse me. They're both Briscoes. And then they stick the lightsabers right up against Mark's crotch, and he sells like he's actually being burned by the lightsabers. It was the dumbest shit. Maybe, I won't say the entire night, because there's one match that's even worse as far as stupid shit. But it was really dumb. And it stood out in this match because there was not really anything else in the match that was that goofy. The rest of it was just kind of more bland street fighting. Although I will give props for Dreamer for hitting Jay Briscoe with the kitchen sink.
Don't forget the cheese grater on Bully's head.
Oh yeah. Yep, Jay took a cheese grater to Bully's head. Bully bled a lot. Nobody else bled too much. I mean, it was a little bit for Mark, but they acted like it was a lot more than it was. He like kind of got like a cuticle scratch on his head or something. And they were like, "Oh, Mark Briscoe's bleeding. Oh, he must have got busted open." Oh yeah, 3 drops of blood, really bad. It was fucking ridiculous. Anyway, back on to kind of the summary of the match. I get distracted easily. So after Bully's bleeding, and they weren't even showing what hit Bully, so I don't know exactly what was supposed to have busted him open, but I'm sure he bladed because of the way it was across his head. So they bring out the Briscoes, pull the ladders out, and that was when the cheese grater came out. He cheese grated Bully's face. We got some ECW chants because it's been 20 years
at least,
and people are still chanting ECW even after Vince brought it back, the bastardized version. People still chant ECW. God, get over it. You're not watching ECW anymore. Just stop, please. It's the only thing worse than that is the what chants.
Oh God.
The what chants make me just furious.
I want to tell you what.
I'll tell you what. I'll punch you in the nuts.
That's it.
Oh God. So after that, Jay Briscoe wraps Dreamer's head in a chair and gives him a neck breaker with his neck stuck in the chair. Then what might be the most ugly shot of the match, I think it was Jay, it may have been Mark, but anyway, one of the Briscoes smashes a chair into Bully's chair and reflex and smashes Bully in the skull. Now, and all I'm thinking is Concussion City. Then Dreamer picks up Mark Briscoe, hits a Death Valley driver off the apron through a table. And then Bully sets up Jay on a table inside the ring and hits the fat-ass frog splash. I'm sorry. You want to do it? No? Fat-ass frog splash. Through a table. Jay kicks out. And then at the end of the match, so the Briscoes are pick up Bully to hit the 3D. They botch it. He kind of hits off the edge of the table, which partially breaks the table. And then to try to save it, Mark climbs up the rope and nails Bully with the froggy bow for the 3 count. And it ends the match. I gave it 2 stars. Maybe a little higher if you're really generous.
2 stars about right. My thing is, when they went for the sabers, I expected them to come out with something interesting. You said the barbed wire. I was thinking of a sledgehammer. You know, that would have made it more real.
Too many Triple H matches, but yeah, that's
come on. I mean, if you're going to dig something out, man, come on, not a saber. That's children.
Might as well whipped out 2 dildos and slapped them upside the head.
That'd probably been better and more entertaining than what we had. Shit.
Oh my God! Bowler Ray's got the dildo!
Walk.
Be like me, myself, and Irene. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. You don't have to leave already. Yeah, great. Anyway, so that was the end of that match. So after that match, we got a top 5 moments in Final Battle history, which was pretty good. They were showing highlights of Bryan Danielson and they had Vinyl Danielson. They had Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, and I forgot the name of the Japanese dude that Bryan was facing. They had a Homicide. You know, a lot of the older wrestlers, none of which are there anymore, of course.
They're all gone.
They're all gone because Ring of Honor is an indie that feeds all the other places. And, well, now it's just feeding WWE because TNA sucks. But that's another issue for another day. Then they had a Women of Honor segment where they brought out all the women that they're training in Ring of Honor that are already there. And they announced they were going to have a big tournament for the new Ring of Honor Women of Honor Championship, because they can't just call it the women's title, I guess, because it sounds cooler to say Women of Honor title, I guess.
They might begin by actually getting some good women wrestlers.
I don't know who a lot of them were, so I can't say if they were good or not. I know Nandy Leon's okay, but I don't know who some of the other girls were.
If you look closely at them, none of them looked like they had any kind of build to be wrestling.
Are you saying fat people can't wrestle?
No, I'm saying these girls can't wrestle. These are eye candy. These are not women wrestlers.
I don't know.
Give me Gail Kim.
I don't.
Give me oh God, what's the big one?
I don't.
Kong.
I kind of disagree with you there because I don't think that they were really that good looking.
Well, they had to be better looking than they were going to be wrestlers because they're not in any kind of shape to be a wrestler. So.
Yeah, well, sometimes fat people.
They can't all be Gail Kim.
And there's also.
Who's the others? I'll say Velvet Skank.
Yeah, Kim's one of the best wrestlers, best women wrestlers ever, though. So that's
well, if you want to go back in time, let's go with Trish Stratus or Lita, Those are some awesome wrestlers. I mean, come on. You really want to go back? You go back to Faye.
Bertha Faye?
No, Faye. Is it Faye Young?
Mae Young.
Mae Young. I'm sorry, Mae Young.
God, now you're butchering names of older wrestlers. I don't even know if she was good because she wrestled so long ago. It was before either of us were born.
That's true. Okay, now we're doing like the announcers.
She was wrestling like pterodactyls back in the Stone Ages. That's why she held the title for 290 years.
She held a title for 290 years because there weren't many women wrestling, and the
ones
that were wrestling
a lot of it
sucked.
Yeah.
So that's why she held it. But moving on.
Oh, you want to get to this next match so we can bury it, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
This next match
sucked.
This made the earlier matches that were bad seem awesome.
It made me appreciate them.
Here, oh my God. It was a 6-man tag team title match. So the champions are the Young Bucks and Adam Page, who I called James Storm, Discount James Storm. Mm-hmm. And they faced Titan, I'm sorry, they called him Teton, which sounds like titties, but I mean, that's just me. And Dragon Lee and Flip Gordon. So this match was so fucking awful. Did you keep any play-by-play? Because I know my play-by-play was just like, it's just mainly curse words and talking about how much I hate this match. Like, let's see.
The only play-by-play I had was the screw-ups, like when Paige screwed up and he jumped off the turnbuckle in a suicide dive, and they had to move in to catch him because he was way off the mark.
That's not unusual for him.
No, and when they flip him and they were supposed to hurt him, he doesn't sell it.
Nobody sold anything in that match until like the last 2 seconds of the match. And like,
it was all horrible.
Oh my God, there's going to be selling. It was a Botchamania match.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird because even though I hate the Young Bucks with the fiery passion because they're so fake and so annoying. They usually don't fuck up quite this. Like they might have one in a match, usually at most, because they're extremely tight with their choreography. But oh my God, they were just like missing people and. Like,
I've never seen them screw up so much. Period. But in one match.
So I'm gonna read from my notes on this match. Flippy shit, slapping, bad choreography, more gymnastics. My brain hurts. Paige fucks up, moonsault in the face. Crowd loves jumpy shit. Paige waves dick in guy's face. Announcers suck off Joey Ryan's penis. And Flip flips around, missing all the super kicks because he's a fucking idiot. Flip hits Paige with kick. Flip sells! Exclamation point. First sell of match. Paige misses breakup and the other guy has to kick out when the Bucks. I don't know which one. Botch after botch. Flip slapfest. Another botch. And then finally, mercifully, it ended with a rite of passage spiked tombstone, and Bullet Club held the title. Sucks all the dicks, and that's what all I wrote. And then at the end, Addiction and one other dude, I think they said was Scorpio Sky, attacked the Young Bucks and Paige, and I was like, please kill them, because I don't want to watch this kind of match ever again. I'm sure the Bucks will have better matches than this, because honestly, I've never seen one this bad before. But this, for me, was the worst match on the card, even worse than the awful Machine Guns versus Best Friends match. Now that I've ranted, would you like to add to some piss on this one?
Not a whole lot. The Dump Bucks were horrible. I don't like them to begin with, but I will give them in the past. I did respect them for their athleticism and the fact that they don't mess up. No botches. This time around, they changed all that for me. And if I want to see flippy shit, I'll watch gymnastics on the Olympics. Yeah, I was watching wrestling.
There's some really bad gymnastics in this match.
Yeah, and it just sucked.
There were some good ones, and then there were some really ugly ones that you would expect to see from like a fat dude who had too much to drink or something.
That's what you expect to see with someone that's training, not someone that's supposed to be a professional. Some of that shit. Oh, hell yeah. He's pretty good, actually.
I would actually pay money to see gymnastics from Beer City Bruiser.
He does some shit that big men like him shouldn't be able to do and does it right.
I always laugh when he talks, too, because he's got that
my gosh.
voice like, hi, I'm the Beer City Bruiser.
Hi there. How are you?
Yeah, that sounded like I was trying to be homosexual, but that's not what I mean.
Let's move on. Going to the next match.
I'm going into bad territory.
The main event of the evening, which really was not.
No, the main event was, as far as quality, was Skrull versus Lethal. That was by far the best match. But this was the Ring of Honor World Title match, so it went on last. So the champion, Cody Rhodes, versus the challenger, Dalton Castle, the Party Peacock. And we got another promo package with Dalton wearing a suit, which was a horrible travesty against nature.
Exactly. I'm used to Dalton coming out with his crazy flamboyant clothes and talking his crap, and I'm looking at a man who they've kind of molded and they've tried to make him follow the status quo, and it just doesn't look right.
No.
Doesn't fit.
The highlight of his promo, even which was kind of awkward, was when they censored him saying dick with a big peacock.
That was
they
funny.
Put it over his mouth. That was beautiful. I did love that.
That was pretty funny.
And they showed some parts where Cody was attacking Dalton, and then they had Cody cut a short promo where he was wearing a big mink coat and also like a suit shirt underneath, a white button-up shirt, and it looked hilarious. It's like he was trying to be more ridiculous looking than Dalton.
Looked like a skit off of I Love Lucy, okay?
I choked to death on my Sprite.
You gotta stop drinking that stuff.
Ugh. Anyway, so Castle comes out dressed in all gold with 5 boys instead of his usual 2. Looked amazing. Dalton's entrance was fantastic. Actually, it was better than the match.
Love that entrance. Elvis, eat your heart
It
out.
was fucking great. And then Cody comes out dressed like Moon Knight with blonde hair. He looked strikingly like Goldust, except for...
Without the talent.
Well, yeah, he's definitely not as fun to watch as his brother. But, so the announcers are talking constantly about trending. This final battle is trending, numbered in the top 10 worldwide on Twitter. And all I'm thinking about is, oh my god, I'm listening to Michael Cole, the bargain bin version.
That's awesome.
I kept waiting for him to talk about the WWE app or to hear JBL say, "That's really good, Michael." And it was so bad. And I'm like, will you please shut the hell up? Anyway, so they're all yammering away about anything but the match. Occasionally we'll talk about Cody and why he's so good or whatever, and basically it was a really slow match, which normally isn't so bad, but when you put it on a Ring of Honor show after a lot of the really fast-paced matches, it's really dull. It was more like like a 1980s match.
They can't live up to the previous matches when they do it that slow.
Yeah, I mean, when you put your main events really kind of slow, and I won't say it's bad because it wasn't, but it's just like everything else is so fast. Because Ring of Honor is a frenetic style, and if you've not watched it, it's very fast-paced. So when you put on a slow, kind of plodding main event with a lot of selling, which I don't have a problem with that. I like that kind of match in general, but after watching all the crazy shit earlier, it just kind of made this seem less important and less special. So anyway, so they're going through a normal back and forth. The heel takes command once his wife, Brandy Rhodes, grabs Dalton's leg. They start the heat. At one point, Dalton tried to counter on the outside, so Cody's trying to powerbomb him. Dalton does like a Hurricane Rana, but Cody picks him up and powerbombs him through the announcer's table. It was pretty cool. And then while Dalton's down, all the boys and Brandy get into a tussle. She jumps off the top rope and splashes them, and the ref kicks them all out.
Todd is God.
Yeah, Todd is God. Because he's like, motherfuckers, get out of here. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. But anyway, so
Booker.
At some point, oh God, Booker T. So at some point, Rhodes cuts himself. He's bleeding all over the place, but I couldn't tell where he actually hit his head or why he was starting to bleed. It was on the fall to the outside. It didn't even look like he hit his head from the angle we saw. Because both of us were asking, what happened with that? How did he cut his head? I don't know. But anyway, so that kept going. There was a ref bump. Dalton locks in a submission, which for some reason he calls Julie Newmar. I guess he has a Catwoman fetish. I don't know. And
Cody taps out.
Rhodes taps out. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you. And while the ref is still down, after the tap out, Dalton just lets up the submission because dumb baby faces always do that. Like you have a guy in a submission, but you don't just keep him in there. You got to let it go and just walk around like a fucking idiot, and then the guy can get back up and beat the hell out of you, which is basically what happened. So Rhodes hits the crossroads, and Dalton kicks out. and Rhodes hits the beautiful disaster kick, and he's about to go for another crossroads. He comes off the rope, and then Dalton hits the bangerang out of nowhere. 3 count, becomes the new Ring of Honor World Title. I was really surprised that there wasn't much of a pop for Dalton's title change because he's a pretty popular guy. But I think the crowd was as surprised as I was that it just came out of nowhere like that and that it wasn't a longer match. I don't think it was that long. I want to say it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah, about 15.
Pretty short.
It was really short.
For a Ring of Honor World Title match. Because, I mean, I've seen some Ring of Honor title matches go 30 minutes.
This is a title change. You expect a lot of shit to go on. You expect it to take a while to get the champion down and to relieve him of his title. And this was just like boom, 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 he's gone.
It felt like? It felt like a TV title match.
Yeah.
You know, like 15.
Very disappointed.
It's like 15-minute TV title match.
Although, I am very happy that he's no longer the champion. I'm glad that it's anybody, but I'm especially happy it's Dalton.
Dalton deserves a shot at the reign. I mean, I'm not sure if he'll be a good champion or not, but personally, watching Cody Rhodes to me is like watching paint dry on the wall. So I'm like, well, it can't be much worse. I guess it could be much worse. They could put it like on Skrull or something and have him flap his wings like a dumbass all the time, or something. I'm sure they could do worse. Maybe they could put one of the Young Bucks as the world title holder, and then we have to watch matches with no psychology where they just jump around all the time.
That would be like a time in hell.
Yeah, this is why I don't watch Ring of Honor on a regular basis, because the really guys that the fans are really behind, or at least the indie fans, because I don't know what Ring of Honor.
I think there's a difference between the hardcore fans and the fans of today. We've been watching it for years and years, and my take is a lot different from the new fans.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of new fans that watch it just because they want to see they're bullshit.
Yeah, they're crazy about the dumb fucks. Well, I can't get behind the dumb fucks. Give me somebody with some substance. Give me Silas. Give me some of the trash talking old people. They're great.
Old people.
Old people. They're old style.
I like some of the young guys, but there's too many guys that I feel like they don't do anything but try to do gymnastics, and it's just boring.
Give me Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole's pretty cool.
I like Adam Cole. I think he's awesome. Great wrestler. Good on the mic.
He looks old.
Lots of fun. Yeah, he does look old. He probably lives his life hard. Anyway, not about this particular.
All right, so we've talked about a bunch of random crap enough. So let's talk final thoughts on this pay-per-view and wrap it up. We've actually gone quite a while. But anyway, so I'll go. You want to go first or you want me to go first? Okay, I'll go first. All right. So basically, I thought this was a decent show, bogged down by a couple of really horrible matches, and a titles match that was fairly disappointing. Oh, I don't think I said this, but I gave it 2 stars because I thought it was an average match. Maybe I could see you going a little higher because there was some good. The psychology was fine. It's just like the ending came out of nowhere, and it was just a downer from the rest of the pace of the show, which was pretty breakneck. Even in the shitty matches, they were fast. But yeah, so I thought it was okay. I thought, like I said, the world title match wasn't that great. Let's see, the 6-man title match was atrocious. And what was the other one that was... Oh, it was the tag team title match. Mm-hmm. Those were all horrible. But Lethal versus Skrull was really, really good.
That should have been the main event.
Addiction versus War Machine was pretty damn good. The Taven versus Ospreay was alright. I didn't really like it, but it wasn't bad. And the TV title match was good. For me... I'm somewhere around 2 point. I would say it was a slightly above average show, probably below average for Ring of Honor from what I've seen in the past. Mm-hmm. So if I was going to judge it on a normal wrestling scale, I'd give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. So I would say mildly enjoyable, but don't go out of your way to see it. If I was judging on a Ring of Honor scale, I'd probably say 1.5 stars, below average show, and there's a lot of better shows you can go watch in their library and get for cheap on their world website or at their regular shows. If you go, you can get like good deals on their DVDs if you're a dinosaur like me and you actually buy them and don't just go online and stream everything. Okay, what are your thoughts on it?
I gave it 3 stars. It is not up to the caliber of the old ROH pay-per-views. They've changed their style, which I don't like, but like I said, it's a difference between a hardcore wrestling fan and a new wrestling fan. I agree with Behemoth in the fact that the 6-man tag match was horrible. And I think the main event really should have been Lethal. It was awesome. They were great. Other than that, I kind of agree with everything you had to say.
All right, then.
I have one thing left to say. The announcing was horrible. Be better off without it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case. But all right, so that's pretty much everything I've got to say about this show. So I won't recommend it, but I won't dissuade you from seeing it. Not too great, not too bad, somewhere in the middle. I don't know if we're going to do this regularly or not, but anyway, I guess I'll see you when I see you. If you like watching video games, you can follow me on Twitch or YouTube under Behemoth Mimp on Twitch and Behemoth Mimp and Games on YouTube. And if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, well, God help you, you already get enough of me as it is. So thanks for everybody for watching, and we may see you again. Please leave any comments or criticism, especially if it's not you suck. If you're gonna at least leave criticism, at least be some more inventive or constructive about it. So you suck because this would be good, or at least something kind of fun, like you suck 10 million dicks. I'd appreciate that at least a little bit more. But anyway, we're going to sign off here, and I hope everybody had a good time. I enjoyed watching the pay-per-view. Oh, and a special shout-out to Jose. And beyond that, this is Behemoth and Little Red Machine signing off.